Picture a cycling team so bad the Brits called them peddling punchlines. Then a coach shows up, obsessed over soap, sleep, and specks of dirt. 5 years later, gold medals everywhere. Well, what if your life could skyrocket the same way, not by giant leaps, but by barely noticeable steps? We're unpacking the holy power of being 1% better.
Got it. Dave Brailsford. That's who you're talking about, Bill. Dave Brailsford. I've never heard of the guy. I don't follow cycling, so not really in my radar or my radar screen. But I love this story. So Dave Brailsford, he comes in as the cycling coach for the British cycling team. Right. We're back in the early 2000s, and he made this decision of we're going to look at just the minute little things that we can do to tweak. So we're talking minute. Basically, it was like, can we get 1% better in all these different areas of cycling? So little things like he made their seats more comfortable.
Think about that.
I'm all in favor of a more comfortable seat. I mean, I don't know if it'd make me more productive.
It's like but on bikes, it's like you're sitting on a wedge. A dull razor blade is what it looks like to me. It's just scary.
Yep. He like got them better pillows so their sleep would be better.
And they're not even on the bike with that regard.
No, they're not even on the bike. He implemented like almost surgeon level hand washing to help them to prevent colds, getting sick. So it's all those little things. So, and all of those, right? And he was laughed at. He was laughed at the beginning. He was like, this is ridiculous. Why? I've ridden on this kind of a bike seat forever. I'm fine. I don't need a more comfortable one. My hands are clean enough. I don't need to implement surgeon scrubbing, right? But over a period of time, all of those small disciplines and those small improvements, all of a sudden, he gets 8 gold medals at the Beijing Olympics in 2008.
That's a great comeback.
That's a huge comeback, especially evidently the British cycling team was kind of a laughing stock, so to speak, before he comes in. So it's just a cool story, but I don't know. How do you see that? How does that apply to our life?
Well, let's think about us on Sunday. Sunday, we go to church. We're pumped. There's the worship team's doing the worship thing, which is great. And the sermon is inspirational and powerful and pointed and just, and then Monday comes. And all we do is wait until what?
Friday.
Or Saturday or next Sunday. Or next Sunday. And we forget about the idea that the little things that we do during the week will multiply and get us and make us better if we do the things during the week. Some people believe that, if I pray every day, it's just become a routine and it just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But it's in the same way that, sleeping with a better pillow matters, or washing your hands better matters every day. It's the little things every day that build up. And we could be talking about the idea of routine, kind of.
I to a degree, sure.
But I hate the word routine. I like the word consistency.
Consistency. I consistently keep hearing about the word consistent.
Yeah.
Must be something to it.
Right. So the idea, what we're thinking about here is being 1% better. So we have to make 1% choices, like prayer before phone, maybe in the morning, or gratitude before grumbling.
Those are big. And they're simple, right? We're not talking about hard stuff. There's you talked about routine. There is a story, and he did it. I don't remember the year. It's been, I think it was again early 2000s. But there was an admiral, William McCraven. He gave a commencement speech to, I think it was the University of Houston or Texas or something like that. But anyway, he gives this commencement speech, right?
Okay.
And here's this admiral, and he says the best thing you can do to improve your life is, first thing when you get out of bed is to make your bed.
I can't do that.
I don't do that.
I can't do that. I'm up before my wife. If I make the bed with my wife in it, it's not happening.
Oh, she doesn't probably like that.
Yeah. So, but I get the point. It starts you off with a win, and some people are thinking that that's not going to make any difference in my life. Well,
Well, here's what he ended up saying was like what you just said. One, it just starts you off with an easy win. It kind of sets things in motion for you. But he has kind of a funny line where he says, even if you have a really, really bad day, you at least get to come home to a bed that you made to remind you of the success you had first thing in the morning. And not only that, a made bed does feel better getting into. The sheets are nice and flat, and they're not crumpled up, and you don't have to try to fight for the covers and things like that. So I just think it's kind of that routine, but that's a small thing, right? It's just that one little thing, but it helps to compound.
And there's the idea, compound. And some people think that some things are just absolutely useless. John Wooden, famous basketball coach, UCLA, way back in the day, he won 9 national championships, 10 national championships in 11 years, I believe. I mean, just nobody's done it before. Nobody probably will ever do it. But the first thing he taught his freshmen, the new guys on the team, he would sit down and show them, this is how you tie your shoes. And I'm thinking, I'm an 18, 19-year-old, 6'10" basketball phenom. I know how to tie my shoes. And John Wooden would go, this is how you tie your shoes, and explains to them why, and makes them do it until they realize why. But it's the little thing. It's got nothing. You're thinking that's got nothing to do with basketball, but
It does.
he would look at the little things and have them create a habit of the little things, because it was going to help them create a habit out of some of the things they were doing on the court, shooting, dribbling, so on.
Here's why he taught him that. One, it was kind of twofold. One was he said that kids, typically parents, as you're growing up, you buy your kids shoes a little bit larger than their feet because they're going to grow into it. So kids are used to having shoes that don't fit correctly.
Okay.
Now in college, and now they have shoes that fit correctly. But as a result of that, they don't know what a proper fitting shoe is supposed to feel like, and therefore they may not tie them tight enough, tie them too tight, and it can create slippage, it can create blisters and things like that. And if you ever had a blister on your foot, you know how miserable that is walking around. Imagine trying to play basketball with blisters. And I remember back. I wasn't a big baller, but I played some basketball in college, or in not college, wasn't that good. Basketball in high school, and I remember having blisters. That's not fun. So it makes me think back to the cycling team. Here's something else that the coach did, that Bracefield did, is that he had them, all the bikes painted white, like the whole bike painted white. Now they're thinking, like, why? What's that have to do with anything? Is because if the bike got any dust or dirt on it, it would show up, and then it would trigger your mind that I need to clean my bike. One little speck of dirt's not going to cause a problem. But if your bike is the same color as the dirt, and the dirt builds up because you don't know to wash it, then all of a sudden you do start to have an aerodynamic drag. Now you can't imagine, how much would that really matter? But it's what you just said earlier, is like, it's that compound. So if I have a little bit of dirt on it, no big deal. But I have a little bit of dirt on it and an uncomfortable seat, and I didn't sleep well, and I have a little bit of a cold because I wasn't washing my hands, and all of a sudden I'm not as effective on the bike. So
okay, yeah.
So, it starts to make sense then. It seems ridiculous when you state it just one thing, but when you add all the things together, it starts to make sense.
Yeah. Now we're talking about 1% gains. How those little things that you do every day build up. Like, you're thinking, praying every day, does it really matter? But if you pray every day, you'll realize how much it matters. Getting into the Word of God every day. You're thinking, well, I'm just going through a routine. Well, if your mindset is, I'm just going through a routine, you may miss some of the things that God really has for you. So think about it like this. Now, I'm not kidding about this. Just yesterday, for the first time in 15 years, my wife and I, hold your seats.
What's he getting ready to say?
My wife and I went to the gym.
Wow.
I know, right? So we go into the gym, and we're doing it for I'm not just helping my wife, and she's not just supporting me. We decided, we need to do this, so rigor mortis doesn't set into me too quickly. So we go to the gym. We learned how to do the machines. The machines have changed in 15 years. All updated and everything like that. It's just absolutely crazy. And if I haven't been in a gym in 15 years, I may seem in awe. But we went in, and we see people in there that have pot bellies, that are 75 years old, that are 80 years old, and they're in there and they're doing their routines. And they've been doing it longer than us. They're just keeping themselves in shape. But then there's young people in there that are buff. And I stepped up onto a leg machine that a young lady was just finishing. up, and we're told to wipe it down with a wet wipe, just for cleanliness and germ things. And I sat down after she left, and I looked at where it was set, and I'm going, nope, I'm changing that. I'm going to change that. And there's guys that have been you see they've been working it for years, and they're just absolutely buff. And I look at myself in the mirror and go, I'm not here for that. I'm here for me. I'm here for me. And it's a 1% better thing. Now, I didn't walk out at the end of that. At the end of my routine, I didn't walk out going, ugh, ugh, me Hulk. I didn't walk out like that. Not going to happen.
Yeah.
Literally no difference from the time I walked in and did the routine to the time I walked out. But if I do that 4 times a week in 2 years, I am going to look better. I am going to be stronger.
I don't even think it'll take that long. I think you do that 4 times a week. I think in 6 months you see a difference.
Yeah, or I could have a heart attack.
Yeah, but you're absolutely right. So it's again, it's about that consistency, and it's like you can't go to the gym and work out for 6 hours in one day and expect to be in shape.
Right.
It is the idea of go to the gym for a half an hour, but let's do that, 3, 4, 5 times a week, whatever that is. So it's that 1%. It is about that 1%. So it's like the little disciplines start to drive like these big results.
Yes, but you have to be patient. You can't just I can't just walk out and say, well, that was useless. I don't look any different. That would be a dumb thing to say.
Yeah, but in life, though, don't we expect that sometimes?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's kind of that instant gratification desire.
Yep.
We got fast food. I can drive through and I can get me a full meal in 5 minutes. And
waffles in the toaster. Boom, done.
Boom, there it is.
Sure, they taste like cardboard, but not with syrup. Syrup makes everything better.
Well, you put enough syrup on anything, it's delicious. I'll eat my keyboard if I got enough syrup on it.
Right.
Put a couple bacon crisps on it too, on top of that.
Oh, here we go. So think about it this way. Luke 16:10 says this: whoever is faithful with very little will also be faithful with much.
Yep. Love that. I think that's like a perfect scripture talking about this concept. It's like if you can prove yourself to be faithful in doing the little things, the 1% each day, the discipline of and being patient and consistent. Like if you do that with the little stuff, then the big stuff kind of starts to take care of itself. And it's the same thing with our faith, right? I mean, you mentioned before, it's like I can't just go to church on Sunday and hope to get big inspiration and big motivation and be filled and then expect that to really truly carry me all week long.
Exactly.
Right? Like that's to kind of maybe give me, I look at it as like I should go to church on Sunday to recharge my battery so I can stay in the word and prayer and faithful all week long.
Right. So think about your spiritual habits. Here's one thing you can do. What single 1% spiritual habit can you start this week?
Like if you don't jump in the word every day, jump in the word every day.
A little bit is better than nothing.
A little bit. You don't have to read a whole book.
Yeah, and you don't have to go to Leviticus to do it either.
I wouldn't start there. And if you do, have plenty of coffee available to yourself. Read 3, 4, 5 verses, and then just spend a few minutes kind of reflecting on what did that verse really mean.
Right. I think the idea is intention. Realize that the little things, you may not see the results today. You will see them in 6 months. You will see them in a year. You must be faithful in the little things so that God can use you in the big things. That's a good way to wrap it up.
I think that's a great way to wrap it up. So, hey, if you've liked anything that we said, make sure you like, you share, you subscribe to us. I'm Jamie, and that's Bill.